Well, howdy, howdy. This is Cubby Potibus, and we're building some pots and sharing thoughts. Today, I am going to talk more about autism. Shocker. Yeah, it's kind of turning into a autism channel. I think which is pretty cool. It's something I'm passionate about, and that there are things that I want to communicate to the world, so that people understand. I think what I kind of want more than anything is to kind of save people from my experience, right? And that they could learn the things that I did maybe later in life, earlier, so they didn't have to hurt so much. Now, before I figured it out, I'd kind of look into autism, and I'd be like, well, what's that like? And none of the descriptions rang true to my experience. And, it's, I'm not like the stereotype, right? I'm very intuitive, and creative, and passionate, and goofy, loving. And, so I just want to relay my experience. Now, I'm just one autistic person. I think that a lot of things I have to say will ring true with a lot of autistic people, though. And I guess it's just maybe a different way of looking at autism, or just something to think about. Yeah. So, and talking about things that I wish I knew earlier, and it really helped is I wish I knew, why I was being squirrely, and kind of what's going on there. I didn't understand, and we can kind of make people uncomfortable, or they misunderstand us, firstly is because of it's an idea called theory of mind. It's basically the idea that I don't know what I look like to people, right? It's just a sense, right? A social sense that autistic people just kind of lack. They say we misread cues. Well, yeah, that's true, but that's too small. It's so much bigger than that, So I don't know what I look like, so, you can make people pretty uncomfortable because you keep jumping on them, you're like the dog or whatever. You're too affirming, or I don't know, just too much, and you can't read their signs, and you just can't get what you look like, A lot of ways it's kind of that simple for me, I just don't get what I look like. It can be pretty damn weird, it's just, that's a good thing, So I don't get what I look like, and then I'm too intense, right? And it makes you overshare, and it kind of scares people away. It makes them uncomfortable, or, they just worry that you're too attached or something, right? And they don't want to hurt you, or, just a lot of things, And, yeah, and you're not, is the thing. but you come across that way because you're just not aware of it, And now if I can't see the perspective of other people about myself, what perspective of my left, is left? It's just what I see, right? So when I think about how they see me, I just assume that they are seeing what I'm seeing, They see me like I see myself, right? It's this unconscious assumption that, they just understand or whatever, and there's kind of an honesty built into that, if that makes sense, It makes it hard to be suspicious, And with autism, you're just not suspicious of people because, you just assume they know you or whatever. I don't know if that makes sense. You don't really imagine deceitfulness on other people's parts because, you're not deceitful yourself, and how would you understand that, when you're just not like that, and your brain doesn't work that way. So yeah, that intensity and lack of awareness, you just tend to drive people away. And that's very squirrely, And another thing I think that I do is I have what I call like the golden rule problem, right? Do unto others as you would have done unto you, right? And well, what I would have done unto me is a little different, than I think others might enjoy or whatever, right? So it's like your cat, and brings you a dead mouse, and you're like, well, crap, what am I going to do with the dead mouse? I mean, I know the cat loves it, but, if a person's autistic, then it's crunchy, and I get the sensory icks, right? And Tinkerbell's vegan, so I can't make her a fur coat. But you can make mouse tea. I don't call them nature's tea bags for nothing. Nice. Right? But, I used to, people always say that funny and confident, that's attractive. And, I would agree with it now, having thought about it. But before, never in a million years would I think that, That's just not intuitive to me. So that's not what I would put out there, right? And and I just like different things, I like stuttering. That's really attractive. Or I've seen the chicks with the blades, on their legs. Those are so cool. Very attractive. Allison from Breakfast Club, perfect. Right? So you put stuff out there that, people are like, what am I supposed to do about this? Or think about this, this is okay, and you don't understand, why that might bother them, or you really offend, make some big mistakes. Because, it just wouldn't bother you, but other people might find that very bad, right? And yeah, and you make things mistakes you think about every day. Yeah. I guess the thing is that understanding, how autism works and what's going on, is, I think, the best way to save people from, just a lot of hurt, if you understand it's something you did or what you did, then, understand why people react that way, and it's not like, there's just something inherently wrong with you, some force or whatever that makes people kind of react the way they do to you, at least you have a reason for what's going on, and I know it's one of the anger just went away when I finally figured out, what was going on. And I just want to elicit compassion for autistic people, is the theme of this show, and you do that by humanizing them, right? So people can feel our hurts, I guess, and understand us, and that we can become one of them to them. Oh, a little shot glass. And just a couple more. Anyhow. So I hope that's clear as mud. Yeah, I'm sure that made a whole lot of sense. But yeah, hopefully you find this helpful, right? And you just kind of understand what's just really going on. And so, well, until next time, this was Cubby Potamus.